do. Step into the space where the roots run deep, where the sun meets the soil and the stories speak. Every leaf, every bloom got a tale to tell, from the lows in the dirt to the highs that swell. This is Grow House, yeah, we flourish and thrive, planting seeds of change, keeping dreams alive. It's more than just green, it's the life we create, breaking through the cracks, let's elevate. Grow strong, grow tall, grow now, grow all. Grow strong, grow tall, grow now, grow all. Grow strong, grow tall, grow now, grow all. Welcome to Grow House, we grow, we grow. Grow strong, grow tall, grow now, grow all. Grow strong, grow tall, grow now, grow all. Grow strong, grow tall, grow now, grow all. Welcome to Grow House. We grow, we grow.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to our 7th episode of Grow House. I am beyond excited, and I'm sorry if you guys were looking 2 weeks ago, we did have to miss a session due to my son. He is crazy, but he is good. So we are here now, and I'm super excited. Small disclaimer, if I start to sound a little nasally throughout our podcast, I do have a little nasal infection, but I got my Sinex today, so we should be good. I'm super, super excited. We do have a wonderful guest today. Someone I did get to recently meet, so I'm very excited. Normally I have a pretty good relationship and friendship built with some of the people that I bring, most of the people that I bring on, and this one is new. I got to meet Dre from Aloha Plant Life through my work, actually, with Palm Street. She is now doing some BA work, and she's just been around helping out, and I'm super excited to be able to deep dive and build a connection with her, with you guys involved. So I'm very excited for that. Also today we have, of course, another giveaway, and it'll be a little bit different on how we are doing our winner, because I want to be a little bit more interactive with the people that are watching our replays. So if you do watch our replays, please make sure to comment, like it, share it, all of that fun stuff. And so how we'll be doing our giveaways now going forward is I will show you guys what we'll be giving away, and this time it will be this beautiful pink princess, something we've mentioned almost every episode of Grow House is the infamous pink princess. Now this one some may say is a little bit ugly, but I just love her. I noticed that she had this beautiful, gorgeous new leaf, so I wanted to bring it out for you guys and give it a new home. And so how we will be running our giveaways now is anyone in the next week. So I will do a raffle next Wednesday, so we'll give a full 7 days for people who are watching live now, for anyone that's watching a replay, to share it to their story on Instagram, tag me, tag Herb Collectors Network, and then if you want to, our guest host, that would be awesome as well. Today it will be Aloha Plant Life. You can find her on Instagram, you can find her on YouTube, of course. I highly suggest checking out her YouTube channel. She's got amazing content. And it's all about plants, of course, and what are her favorites, what she doesn't like, if she's doing sales, all sorts of stuff. So please, to enter, you do have to take a screenshot or post our replay on your stories on Instagram and tag me, and the deadline is the following Wednesday. So I should have picked a date, but it'll be next Wednesday from today, the 21st of May. So I'm very excited. And of course, a big shout out to Herb Collectors Network and Mike that gives us the opportunity to be here and share all about the houseplant industry, what sellers are doing, what influencers are doing, what's kind of been going on. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on our guest, Dre. So excited.
Hello.
Hi, Dre. How are you?
I'm good. Real quick, it's Drea.
Drea.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
No, don't worry. Everybody does it. It's fine.
I was thinking tree because you had told me last time. You're like, it's like tree. So I was like, okay, Dre.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like
Drea. Okay.
yes, everybody does it. My full name is Andrea, if that helps people remember it. So
that will.
seriously, don't feel bad. Everybody does it.
No, thank you. I'll remember now, Drea. Perfect. Awesome. So I'm super excited to have you. I heard you were filming a bunch of videos today, so I'm super excited. When do those get to drop?
So one of them is going to drop this Saturday, and then one will be dropping the following Saturday. So an exciting plant haul this Saturday that got delivered early, so I was not expecting to have to film it today.
Oh, I love and hate that.
Yeah, exactly.
How many plants did you get in?
I actually got 6, and I didn't know what was coming this time. It was a surprise order from a sponsor, so super excited about that. And I actually ended up loving every single plant that they picked for me, which is rare that I actually like them all. But whoever's picked these has clearly been watching my videos this year.
I love that. That is so awesome. Do we get a sneak peek? What was your favorite out of the bunch?
Ooh. I don't know. I don't know what I can say. First of all, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I don't even know if I could pick one. That's hard.
They were that good then.
Yes, they were good.
Okay, that's what's up. I love that. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So were they like imported plants, or were they were imported? Okay, so they have some acclimation to go through.
They do. I can say they were mostly Hoya.
Okay.
There was one Anthurium.
Okay. Oh gosh, I love that. Love that. Hoya and Anthurium. That's what's up. That's right down my street.
Definitely.
I love that. So how do you think the acclimation for those specifically will go? Are you nervous about any of them?
No, I'm not. I've actually gotten lots of plants from this. They came from Aroid Asia. I've been working with them for a long time, but I actually had to stop working with them for a while because I started when I lost my last corporate job, and I decided I was going to start doing a lot of rare plant pop-up events in the area. I started importing a lot of plants in from them because that was back when it was still hard to find some of the what were rare at the time and really aren't that rare anymore plants. And so I've been importing a lot in, and we started having issues with plants getting stuck in customs, and I would plants and they'd be dead. And so I kind of stopped, but they're now using a distributor here in the US that has clearance so things don't get stuck in customs anymore. And they just ship them to them, and then they ship them out to the actual customers.
Yes, so, totally makes sense. Good.
Yeah, really helps. Yeah, they're trying to prove that that's working, and it is working. This is the second shipment they've sent me like that. So it's definitely, they're coming in fabulous, pristine, great. So I'm loving it.
That's awesome. Do they get sent to your house, or do you have to go to a FedEx or an airport or anything like that?
So you can, but my FedEx location is doesn't want me to do that. So every time I try, and I'm like, if they get delayed even slightly, I'm like, can I come pick them up? And they're like, we're just going to bring them to you. You just need to be patient. They'll be there by the end of the day. And I'm like, yeah, but can't I just come get them earlier if I come to you? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then it's I spend all day tracking the FedEx guy.
Yes.
So.
I hate that. In my neighborhood, it's so funny. And when I was more of a collector and I was buying plants all the time, I would watch the FedEx man, and it was so annoying because he would do this half of our neighborhood, and then we have a secondary neighborhood. It's like a village, a separate village that's on the other side of the road, and then he'll go to that side. Oops, sorry, plant. And then he'll go to that side, and then he'll go back into this other neighborhood, all before going back into our neighborhood to drop off our plant. And so I'm I will check at 11. I'm like, oh, he's in our neighborhood. finally, yes. And then 2 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, what the fuck? And I can see he's in this other neighborhood. I'm like, why do you do this to me? It's so annoying.
I know people who tell me all the time, they're like, just go find him and tell him to give it to you on the street. I'm like, I don't want to be that person.
I've been told that they won't do that.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. Because don't they have to like take a picture now too? Like when they do this front porch?
Yes, they have to take a picture, and then I think like the only way you could convince them is like you have your ID or something to show like this is, because they're not like thinking about the person it gets delivered to, they're thinking about the house it gets delivered to.
Right.
And if they just start handing boxes out, they're screwed. They're screwed.
Exactly. That's
crazy. Okay, well, let's get into it. We're going to talk about some trends. We're going to talk about some industry changes that maybe you've seen. Do you have any like houseplant trends that you've noticed that have like really taken off this year?
So I actually did a video at the beginning of the year talking about trends I thought we were going to see over the course of this year. And so far, I think most of what I predicted is held up. Some of that is unfortunate, and I'll explain what I mean in a second. But I really think let's start with the positives.
Yes.
I really have stated at the start of the year, and I still agree with it at this point, that this is like the year of the begonia, or the new year of the begonia, because I'm sure begonia has had its year in the past as well. But I just kind of predicted that I really thought the popularity of begonias was going to take off. People were going to get more into collecting begonias this year. And I've really seen it happening a lot.
Yep.
And I saw even like, I think it was a few days ago, the bearded plantaholic, which I absolutely love him. He was doing a whole like reel with his giant Rex begonia. Have you seen it? That
no.
reel?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to look it up.
Oh yeah. It's all about size matters with his giant Rex begonia, which is insanely large. I was just like, oh my gosh. And I mean, I just feel like people are finally realizing there's so much variety amongst begonias, so many different colorations, just all kinds of different things. And then of course you've got your cane begonias and your Rex begonias that are your two big categories. And I think for whatever reason, it's like, it's funny too, because I feel like a few years ago, people hated begonias. Like if you did videos about begonias on YouTube, people were like, I don't want to watch that. And now it's just like, all of a sudden, it's like, I feel like it's this year's kind of it plant, or is becoming the it plant. And I also feel like that is not going to last too long. That is my
you don't think, really? Yeah. So how long do you think that trend, like, how long do you see trends like this, like specifically like stay on? Like how long do you think they're trendy?
I think it just depends. I think this begonia trend is going to burn out super fast, though, for two reasons. I think the people who get into cane begonias are going to love them at first, because we all love them at first. And then they're going to realize those things grow like mad. They get insanely crazy, like sprawled out all over the place.
They do.
Taking up a ton of space. You're constantly having to chop them back. Like, if you just let them grow, they literally grow very much like bamboo. They grow super fast, and they will get very big and take up a ton of space. And I don't think people are prepared, because usually when you buy them, they're like 2 leaves, right? They're like little tiny plants.
2 to 4 leaves, like max normally.
Exactly. And I think people are just going to get fed up or not have the space, not want to deal with it anymore. Or the people who get into the Rex begonias. I feel like Rex begonias are typically a little bit more tricky for people, and I think a lot of people are going to struggle with them and then give up. So this is kind of my theory on why I think it's going to be like a fast and hard thing where people are just going to really get into them, and then they're going to burn out. And the other thing is there's just so much variety. It's kind of like with Hoyas. There's like thousands that you could get. I also feel like people are just going to get a lot at once. And then if they do struggle to take care of them,
here is a very typical, I wanted to show you guys a photo. This is a very typical cane begonia. This is, I think it's the angel wing, or AKA polka dot begonia. That's a cane begonia. And so our last episode, we gave away a Rex begonia, because I'm very, like, I also believe that it is the year of begonias. You know, Matt, actually, he when we went to headquarters and did our on-site, 2-3 weeks ago now, he had bought like 150 begonias for the office. Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's a lot of begonias.
It is a lot of begonias. He's been collecting them. He also figured, he's like, I think like begonias is gonna be like what's trending this year. So I think you're absolutely right. Like we've also seen it like internally, like on Plum Street, online, like the beautiful variegated maculatas came out this year a little bit with and I'm starting to see them floating around a little bit more, cuttings, auctions, and stuff like that. And so, yeah, but with the cane begonias, they are their own beast. And then Rex begonias are their own beast for whole different reasons. Humidity, like they're more picky, and like, what's your take on Rex begonias?
Same thing. That's why I think people are going to get like burnout on them quick. And like I was saying, like there's just so many varieties. And if people take the Hoya head mentality and just start buying up all the begonias,
Yep.
begonias at once, and they find out that they're not great at caring for them and they all start dying at once, I think people are just going to be like, I'm done with it.
Yep. Yeah. I totally understand that. I've cared for several begonias, and the Rex ones, I love them. I love them so much. I love to look at them. Let's do that. I love to look at them, see how pretty they are in other people's videos and other people's photos, because when I get one and it's almost always shipped to my house. It's already upset because it was in a box, and who knows how long it's going to be upset for, because it's been in a box for 72 hours maybe. And then that's when it starts. It's like, okay, I'm going to start dying now. And it just gets all crisp. It gets crispy. It just like I can give it as much humidity, like good airflow, everything. And some are troopers, but I'm kind of, survival of the fittest over here. Like you have to work with what I've got going on. I can't do too much like babying. And so a lot of them, they don't last very long.
I totally hear you on that one. So I will say, like, another trend that I alluded to, not the best trend that I've been seeing this year that I kind of predicted, was that we were unfortunately going to see a lot more plant sellers closing their physical storefronts.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I even saw earlier, like a few hours ago, Texas
Plant Connection
announced that they're closing their physical storefront. And
yes,
it's really unfortunate. Like the plant ward up in Massachusetts closed a few months ago. It's just an ongoing trend. And I think a lot of it is being driven by just the lowering of prices, the kind of pop of the COVID bubble, and then also just the increasing trend in live selling.
Online sales. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was actually just reading Sarah's post about them closing their store, and I was like, oh man, like what the heck? But I do think they have some stuff up their sleeves that will be very exciting. But it is sad to see, because I watched so many stores open, and like I also don't want to watch them close. But if you are doing so well online and you can stay in the comfort of your home, sure, like yeah, absolutely. But it is always very nice, like if I'm traveling through the country, like let me find a bunch of like plant shops that I can stop at on the way. And like we're kind of dwindling down now on everything that we can visit, and it's a little disheartening. Definitely it is. Do you think live selling has contributed more than like the COVID aspect, or the market change, like the prices and stuff like that? Where do you think it's just kind of, this is the way it's going to go? Like, do you think live selling has had a huge impact on that?
I think it's a fairly equal combination of the things, honestly. And I think the sellers that are going to survive having to close their physical stores are the ones who are embracing live selling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're doing a lot of them. Yes, they are doing very, very, very well, and that's good. I'm happy for them. It's just, it is as a buyer. It's like, no, don't do this to me. You know, it's a little sad, but you know, if I can find them every day online, then like
Mhm.
going live, like I guess that will work. You know, like okay, so I guess I'll just see you on my app on my phone, and we won't be able to meet in person anymore.
Yeah,
Sad.
it is sad because I mean, like the types of when you get to a certain point in your plant journey, you're looking for something different for the most part than what you can get at just like, well, for us, like a Callaway's, our
Right.
local nursery
Yep.
chain. Even
Yep.
though Callaway's is getting a little better, you know, they're carrying some more interesting things, but it's these local like boutique plant shops where we can
Yes.
go in and we can find those plants that we can't find at a local garden center or whatnot. And it's just like a fun experience. And the people who run those are typically a bit more aligned with us in terms of their
Yes.
passion and what they're interested in about plants than just the high schooler working at the local garden center, right?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like
So
when I think of like I want to find a really nice like higher end plant, I'm going to Texas Connection. I'm going to Lost in the Forest in the Minnesota. I'm going to Cultivore in where are they again? They're Houston, I
yeah,
believe. Yeah.
they closed too.
They closed their second location?
I'm pretty sure they've closed both locations. Did you know they opened a restaurant? So I
I
think
did know that. I did know that, and I knew Kai was like seriously loving being there because the last time I went to visit, it was just mom. And I asked like, where's Kai? And she's like, well, we opened our restaurant, and then she gave me like a discount, like wrote me like a note from mom, you know, to
love
go
it.
to the restaurant I think I was with oh yeah, I was with my son Jackson. And so we went there and it was phenomenal. It was amazing. So I'm happy, definitely happy for them. That's really a bummer. I didn't think that they closed that second one. I guess it has been almost a year since it's been almost a year since I've been there. So wow. Yeah. So see, there we go. Two down. I named three, two of them are down already.
Yep.
What the heck?
I mean, I get nervous every time I go online when PETA's Planters has done a post. I'm
Mm-hmm.
nervous that they're going to be announcing their closing.
They're closing.
Like, please don't close.
No,
Like,
please don't close.
no.
Yeah, no, I'd be pretty upset as well. Or if Famous in Oregon would close. Like, I love Tanner. I love everyone. Their little cat that's kind of mean. I love them. I love them all. That was the first plant store that I had ever gone to in Texas, and it was just the cutest, you know, little thing. I think it had been slightly after they opened because it was right after like my daughter was born, which is COVID, and they had such a beautiful store, and it was the first time I ever saw Monster at Elbow in person, and it was like this big one that they had growing up the wall, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can't wait to come back here all the time. And they were holding beautiful like little markets there with Veery, some other people. It's just fun swaps, fun stuff going on all the time.
Yeah. And see, that's what it is. It's like it's a good way to build like community too with the little plant
It
shop
is.
and everything. So
No. Yeah.
it's sad to see. Like I'm hoping like it's not a continuing trend.
Yes.
But you know, we'll just have to wait and see what happens because I've also seen plant prices sort of on some plants starting to creep back up a little bit.
Yep. I've noticed that as well. Some, you know, we have our staples that pretty much stay around the same price, but I've started to notice that some things that I thought were going to take a really big dive are either going down really slowly or they're kind of just like staying there, which is good. I'm happy for that. Like, thank goodness. Like I'm over like these 4.5 week plant trends where they can go for like $1,000 and then 6 weeks they're down to like 300. And I'm just like, don't do that.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's good as a buyer. You can get what you want a lot quicker instead of having to wait a year, 2 years. Like the Pink Princess, it was expensive for like a long time. And then when it went down, it went down.
Yeah.
But as a seller, as like, I need these to retain value because I at least have to hold them for like at least more than 6 weeks, like 8 weeks, like minimum, before I feel comfortable selling them if I get them imported, like I cannot, please give us more time.
Right. Yeah. I
That's
get
how I feel.
I've had people on my channel when I've explained pricing from a seller standpoint, like accuse us of being part of the problem for why the prices are so high. And I just try to explain to them, like, look, we have to buy them for a certain rate, and we're not buying them if there's not demand, right? We only buy things people want to buy. So I understand not everybody wants to buy it at the high price, but there are people who want to buy it at a high price. So our job is to give them the best price possible, but we also can only buy them for however low we can buy them for. So
Exactly.
it's not like we were trying to being greedy, because that's what I hear a lot. We weren't trying to be greedy. We were actually trying to bring you the best price, because you have to have the best price to get the sales, right?
Yep.
And the thing is prices were dropping so fast. And I try to explain to people all the time, it's like, if they drop too fast, because like you said, we have to have time to acclimate if they're being imported or whatnot, they drop too fast, we lose money.
Oh, we lose so much money.
Right. And it's not like we're trying to screw anybody over. It's not like we're being greedy. We're trying to sell it as low as we can and still get an appropriate margin, for ourselves.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, it's not, I mean, it's really supply and demand. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. It's not, I mean, we don't determine the price. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not like getting a plant for $5 and trying to sell it for $1,000, right? That's not what's actually happening. Yeah, and like I think a lot of people think that's what is happening, and maybe there are some people out there who are doing that. Like they're getting a free cutting from somebody and they're selling it for like $1,000, whatever. Who knows? But like when you're actually buying the plants that you're selling on, you're not getting them for that much lower than what you're selling.
Oh yeah, especially because Mike had commented, he's like, a lot of buyers forget about seller's cost, like. And that is like a huge part. Like cost is like entailing a much more. It's not just the plant, the cost of the plant. So if let's say I'm selling a plant for $100, I'm probably paying $40 to $60 for that. Like we'll say, and then that's just the plant, and then it's shipping on top of that. And then it's all of the pots and the media and all of the water and the fertilizer and the light and the time, our precious time that we are putting into that plant, that a lot of the times, all of that stuff isn't even always accounted for. Like a lot of the time sellers will be like, I need to make 3x this. So I'm going to charge $100 for this, or 100, 120, for this. And that will, aligns with market price, but also is a good deal. So it will sell fast. And so like, not all of that is profit. Like very little of that is actually profit. If you want to break it down, because I got my spreadsheets, like it's not that, it is not like, we are not pocketing that. Like if we were all pocketing that, we'd be doing so much better than where some of us are right now. Like that's a lot of money to pocket. And that's just unfortunately, but fortunately, that's just not how it works. So yeah, they definitely forget about that huge part, and they jump on us and say, that wholesales for this much, or I can buy it, like import it for this much. But sure, go ahead and do that for your one plant, and it will cost you an arm and a leg to ship that one plant. Like we are buying hundreds of plants when we import. Like this is not a cheap thing, and we have to make sure we're on our P's and Q's and getting exactly what we need to get out of these plants. And then also buying with market value. And that's not easy. That is not easy at all.
And I think people think that people who sell plants, I think they also forget that just like regular person in their home has plants that die, people who buy plants and resell, they have plants that die, right?
Oh yeah, in shipment, and I'm very fortunate to have such a good, provider and like wholesaler. but most wholesalers and exporters, they won't cover a few dead plants. Like they're not gonna go out of their way to send you another box. Like that's just, if they're really nice, they'll give you some discount on your next order. But like that's just, if that $500 plant is done, it's done. Like I can't do anything to save it. We can try to save like the nodes and regrow it, but that'll take months, and then it will never, like it will take years to get back to the point and value, you know, but by the time it just, yeah, it sucks. So yeah, good point on that. Like there's our whole factor of loss that is pretty extreme in some cases, you guys. We have, and you know, you were just talking about this, like that exporter having issues with stuff getting stuck in customs. Like sometimes we'll order $5,000 worth of plants and it will all be destroyed by the USDA. It'll just get destroyed. So cool, so fun. Do we get our money back? No. No, we do not. And so we are screwed, and that's tough. That's hard to make up. And that might be another reason why, you know, some people are struggling a little bit, is that has been happening so often. It's been crazy. I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook, like, guys, my first import order is like being held by USDA. Like I have this option to fumigate it or, you know, destroy it, and like, oh God, it's terrible.
Just to be clear, they do give you an option. I think people think, well, you had the option for them to treat it for pests, because if they find pests on the plant, you can have it treated.
But fumigate it. Yes, fumigate.
The cost to treat it is
so
like,
expensive.
I think it was like $600.
Yeah, the last time it happened to me, it was $500 to fumigate it. And luckily it was anthurium, it was philodendrons, and it was Hoyas. It was not something I was concerned like too much about. Like I know that these plants can really, you know, take a beating, if you will. But I've seen so many stories where it's like a box full of alocasias, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I am so sorry for you, but that is not going to end well.
No.
Like, that is just, you got to count that as a loss, like, at this point. Like, I really hope you have an LLC so you can claim that as a loss.
Right.
Because that's tough shit, man. Like, that is some of the saddest things. Like, it is just money being burned, essentially.
Exactly.
Like, and some people are pre-selling these stuff. Like, I don't really love like the pre-selling, but some people do, and whoo, that is bad. Then you can't pay back that one person because you've already spent that money. Like, oh, it is such a mess. Oh, terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah. Let's get a little back on track here. I love the conversation, but we're still talking about trends. What are some plant trends or hacks, I guess, that you think are overrated?
This is going to be probably a not popular opinion.
No, I need to hear it.
I think that the increasing trend of an insane number of variations of variegated monstera is so overrated. Like, I'm so over it. I don't want to hear about another variegated monstera, new variegated monstera, because it's gotten to the point where they're all starting to look the same. Oh, yeah. And I'm questioning if they aren't the same. Yep. And I'm over it. Like, I don't even care. I'm not even interested to look at them anymore. Like, I'm totally happy with my all green monstera and my albo. Leave me alone. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
It's kind of insanity. So if I jump back a year, like, it's all happened like within this year, like 9 to 12 months. It was, so 2 years ago, the albo made a huge breakthrough. Everyone wanted an albo. 9 months later, the aria came around. A little bit longer after that, it was green on green has kind of made its appearance here and there. And then the mint. Oh, the holy grail, the mint. This mint, that mint, this mint, that mint. Like, oh, so many. We have like the lemon lime.
Remember when the infamous creme brulee for the Thai hit?
Yes, the creme brulee, the Thai con. How did I forget about that one? Freaking Thai con. The Bulbasaur, the Monstera Devil, Monstera Devil.
Yeah, and then the white monster, because there's so
white monster
variations.
Oh my gosh. And all of those, the last three that I had just mentioned, all look very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So once we got into like the mint territory, I kind of just was like, everything got blurry because I was just like, oh, this shit looks the same, yo. Like, I understand, like, okay, this has a different name, like, I'll respect that name, whatever, but like, I'm not paying that much money when I have this beautiful plant right here. This is a mint, and I wanted a mint, so I got a mint. I don't need all of these other mints. Like, it's insanity. I will say the creme brulee Thai con, the ones that look like Wagyu, they're pretty cool. They are pretty cool. I like that they have the yellow and then it's like the Wagyu type like meat. Thank you. You can get it off Herb Collectors Network online, my shirt. But I do like that one. I haven't gotten one myself. I probably won't. But I do like the coloration of those.
Yeah.
But everything else, I'm just like, it's all blurred out to me. It all looks the same at this point.
Yeah. And my other thing is like people like jump on, like it gets hyped up so much, and then people like just join in the hype, and then it's like nobody's actually grown one. By the time we see it, let me put it this, no normal person has grown one for even a year by the time it hits our radar.
Yep.
And so it's like you don't even know if it's going to have a problem, because remember when the like second generation of Tycons hit and everything was rotting?
Oh God, yes.
Right? And it's so much more prone to root rot. So like we don't know if these new versions are prone to anything yet.
Yeah,
but everybody's like gung ho and wants it and whatever. And I'm like, I'm just gonna sit back and see what happens here.
Like, wait a little bit.
I'm just gonna watch this play out. I'm not joining in this. Like it's just crazy.
Absolutely. I feel like my excitement was tainted a little bit because I went to Thailand when the Monstera Devil like really started to like pop off, and like only still Mike in the US. I know Harry has one now, Harry Liu, from Plant Daddy Therapy. He does have one, but I think Mike is like at least the only other person I know that really has one. Maybe Rare Plant Fairy has one. But I went, and so it was so prestige, right? Like, I remember I went to Mike's nursery and I took a picture of it and I took a picture with it, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, you touched it!" Like, I'm like, yes, yes, I touched it, you guys. Like, it's real. And then like 2 weeks later, I got on a flight, went to Thailand to one of the Bangkok shows that is going to be happening January 3rd. So if anyone's interested, like hop on YouTube, hop on Facebook. They're super cool. You'll see really cool plants. Anyway, went there and I was like, okay, I know a lot of people here are going to have the devil. And so I was like looking, I probably saw like 11 of them. And so after that, I was like, this ain't cool. Like, that's not hot anymore, like it. And then the big star was the orange Milanos or Molinos, however you pronounce them, orange Milanos, orange variegated Milano philodendrons, and then the variegated and pink variegated anthuriums. So those were like the new star, right? And so I got to see all of those and so many of those before they even got into the US, but also seeing so many Monstera Devils in front of me. It was just another plant at that point. Like I didn't care anymore. And so like now I have no, like I used to be super excited to see one, and now I'm just like, oh, it's just another $50,000 plant. Oh wow.
Right.
It's insane. It's insane. But actually, let's say I think that's worth now. The one that Mike had is $27,000. So it's gone down in price quite a bit.
Right.
Not an reachable, like
right.
a reachable price,
exactly.
but it's definitely getting there. Do you only have like a Monstera elbow and a regular Monstera?
That's all I have now. I used to have a Tycon. I did have issues with rot when I first got it. I switched it to Leca. It was doing good in Leca. It was never that high variegated, so I was never a huge fan. It was a free plant that was given to me by a sponsor.
Okay.
And so, nobody's going to balk at a free plant, but also it just, it wasn't super variegated, and it was so slow to grow. It got a little better after I put it into leca, but I was just like, man, I'm over it. Like, I don't even care.
So you
Like,
don't like slow growers, you like fast growers.
yeah, and I love my green monstera is giant. Like, everybody loves my green monstera. I used to sit and film in front of it on my floor in my living room for every video when I started my YouTube channel. I am now at the age I just can't sit on the floor that long anymore. Like, I just can't do it. And people are like, "We miss seeing your monstera." I'm like, I am sorry. Plus, I have 3 cats again now, and trying to film sitting on the floor in your living room with 3 cats is not happening. So
no,
that's why I
all in your face.
Yeah, that's why I film my office now, because it has doors, so I can close the cats out if I need to. But like, everybody loves it, and I got it from Lowe's. Like, it's just a Lowe's bought monstera.
Yep.
It's got 9 freaking vines in the pot. It's redunculous. Like, and that's why I think people like it so much, is because it looks more like a bush than like a monstera. But it's like, I've had it for, I think maybe 3.5 years now. And I've never even had to put a pole in there. I just have the plastic, like the thin plastic support sticks you get at like garden centers. I have a bunch of those in there, like 6 of them. And each vine's just kind of, I have like 2 vines attached to one. And
how many fenestrations does it have?
Oh, they're fully fenestrated. We don't have the holes yet.
Oh, the holes yet. Okay.
Yeah, we just have the slits. And it's pretty far. I mean, it's completely across the room from my southern facing windows, but it's under a Soltec light to help augment it. And I mean, the thing grows great. Now, it's slowed down a bit in the last like probably 1.5 years, but that's because I've literally only repotted it once, and that was probably 2.5 years ago. So I'm sure it desperately needs a repot, and that's why it's slowed down. But even today, there's 3 new leaves coming in on it.
Insane.
Yeah, I've never had to chop it. I've literally, I think, lost 6 leaves in total over 3.5 years of just like old leaves dying off.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it's just sitting there like self-sustaining, like, and not taking up too much space. And I'm just like, I love you. You're kind of growing at the perfect rate for me. You don't have to go too fast. Like, you're kind of chill. It's great. I love it. And after I transferred one of my Monstera albos to leca last year, that thing is like massively taken off. But what I've noticed with Monsteras in general is if your Monstera is not growing, I can almost guarantee you need to repot it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I've had that issue many of times with my elbows. And then also with I have a very large green. I guess the leaves are probably like 2 times the size of this one. We got it at a Callaway's. It was already very large. We bought it for $100, which was right in the beginning of my plant journey, if you will. So it was like expensive. to my husband, that was a very expensive plant. 3 months later, I was spending way more than that on like a plant this big. He didn't know at the time, but yeah, that one has always grown super, super, super well. I love it. Gives me little pups sometimes, and yank them out and give them to my kid, and she'll have her little dinosaur pot, and I give her little plants to try to keep alive. Right now she has a chicken fern, and it's actually been going very well. So
awesome.
Keeping my fingers crossed on that one, that she can keep that one alive. Speaking about growing a lot in the last year, let's talk about you and like your YouTube channel, your Instagram. Like, how have you seen the growth? Like, have you done any changes or anything major like in the last year or so? When did you start exactly?
So I have my 3-year anniversary of my YouTube channel was at the beginning of February.
Okay. Congrats.
So, thank you. And it's been pretty steady growth over that time. Obviously, when you first start, like, it takes a while, but I mean, so I started my channel in February of what year would that be? What, 2022? Yes, 2022.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah, because I had just turned 40 and I lost my freaking mind and decided I was going to start trying to figure out how to do videos. Having never done anything. Having never done anything like that before. Like, I'm pretty sure when I told my friends and family, they were like, midlife crisis. Like, what is she doing? And so I remember like just starting that, and I I remember feeling like, so I got monetized in August of 2022, and I was kind of like, man, I wish I could have made that happen sooner. And then once I started like meeting other planty YouTubers, they were like, that's actually pretty good, like to get monetized that fast. And when considering I didn't have an Instagram following, like a lot
Right.
of
Yeah. Okay.
planty YouTubers that get thousands of subscribers really, really quick, they already had like thousands and thousands of subscribers on Instagram,
On Instagram or TikTok. Yeah.
exactly. It's just like Sydney Plank. I already had like over 100,000 followers on Instagram when he started his YouTube. He hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of week 1. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Really?
it was crazy. I watched that happen and I was like, oh my God. Like,
That is insane.
yeah, but that's what happens when you already had a following. So I started my Instagram, my planty Instagram, literally 1 month before I started my YouTube. So I knew I wasn't gonna have that happen. Like nobody knew who I was already, right? So I kind of like, I have to take that perspective and realize, yes, me being able to get monetized by August of the year I started, when I started in February, actually was really good. But I will say the last year has been the most interesting for me just because of the things that have happened. Like I've gotten more sponsorships that I didn't have to initiate in the last year. And I would say like the biggest thing for me, I remember being at IAS back in September and just stopping and going, oh my God, this is so crazy, because Palm Street paid for me to go to IAS. They paid for me to be an influencer at IAS. They paid for the videos I filmed while I was out there. And after that had already been set in motion, I was just like watering plants one day and walking around taking care of my plants. And I do use an app to kind of quickly be able to check how long has it been since I watered it, so I can ignore plants without having to go check on them if I don't need to. And I remember I was holding my phone about to check on a plant and I see an Instagram notification and it's from Doc Block. And I'm like, okay, this is not really from Doc Block, surely. Like, whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. I like open it up and he's like giving me his personal phone number and saying he'd love to have a conversation with me about plants at some point and to give him a call whenever. And I'm like, this is not really Doc Block. I'm like, this is some troll. What's going on? I like click on it and it pops up, and you know how it will show you on Instagram like other people you know who are following this person? The first person it showed was my contact at Palm Street, Jeff, which you knew Jeff. And it shows up as Jeff. And like before I even opened it to see that, I'd screenshotted it and sent it to Jeff and been like, look at this, like, what is this? And Jeff was like, haha, are you sure it's really him? And then I took the screenshot where it said also followed by Jeff. And I was like, well, you're following him too. And even Jeff was like, oh my God, like what is going on right now? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, you should call him. And I'm like, well, first of all, this is really weird, because he literally said, just call me whenever. And I'm like,
because he's old.
Exactly. And I'm like, no, we don't do that anymore. That's not right. You might be busy. I need to know if you're available. Like, and so I was kind of like, I didn't reply right away. And then like the next day he was like, seriously, whenever, do you need me to give you a time? And I was like, yes, please. Like, and so like I called him and we talked for over an hour and a half. And then it ended with him, like, I told him I was going to be out in Miami for IAS. And he was like, well, you need to come by my house. And so and I was like, well, do you mind if I like film a video while I'm out there? He's like, yeah, totally. Let's do it. And I was just sitting there in Miami after having filmed that, after having like spent my days hanging out with Alice from You Don't Even Grow Here, from Sean at Only Plants, like hanging out with Junie, hanging out with all the people, Paige, like everybody, Sydney Plant Guy, and just being like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like that I'm here, because
so surreal.
Yeah, so surreal, because like all those people have way more followers and had been doing this before I had started doing it. So to be in that same group, it was just like, this is weird. It was just kind of like, to me, it was like, this is a turning point. I don't want to be like, I've made it, you know, because it's not like that. Like I still don't have a
huge moment. Like that is so amazing. Like to get to get him at the, you know, just all of the everything, how it worked out. Like that is so beautiful. I love that. On that trip, like what was your best part of that trip?
Oh my gosh, there's so many
It
parts.
might be hard. Like, yeah, it sounds like it was all really great, but like, do you have like one thing that just will always stay with you?
Well, I mean, just going out to his place, because if you
Yeah.
haven't been there, like we've all seen pictures and videos and everything, but until you're there, and I will say he even kept telling me, he's like, this is not the best year to come, or the best time of year to come. He's like, you need to come back sometime, even if you're not going to film. He's like, you need to come back sometime during this month. And I was like, okay. And I want to go back just because, seriously, and I don't want to be rude, because he loves to talk. He is a talker. I mean, I'm a talker too, so it works out.
So
But he really does like to talk. Like, I'm just warning anybody else who may be watching this and someday get invited out there, be prepared to be there for a while, right? But like, I really want to go sometime, and he has a hammock out in his gardens, and I just want to go lay in the hammock and just take it all in, because it is so beautiful. Like, his property
sounds like, yeah.
is so beautiful, and it's like I got to see it, but I was also filming while I was there, and I would just love to go back and just actually experience it just as a person and not as I'm sort of doing a job, right? You know, while I'm here.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, I just think, oh, that would be the best.
That is amazing. So that's a lot of like really amazing things happening like in such a short amount of time. And after, meeting everyone and like, building connections and stuff, like did you see like any difference in your like engagement or following like on YouTube from those experiences?
I did see a large increase actually in viewership and ad revenue, everything in September, because I think there was just so much going on. Like, a lot of people, a lot of people wanted to know what was going on at IAS. I got a lot of comments from people saying that they watched a lot of different videos from IAS and they really thought that mine was the best. It really covered what they wanted to see. And we all took different approaches. Like, I watched everybody's videos from it. And that's one of the things that I love about YouTube is like, and everybody's always like, well, aren't you worried when another planty person starts doing videos on YouTube? No, because we all do it differently.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it differently, you're not going to succeed, right? If you're just copycatting people, you're not going to succeed. And that's what I loved about it is like, not everybody out there is the same. Like, not everybody's looking for the same thing. So while all my people were like, we thought your video was the best, that's not the best for other people. The way Sean did his is the best for somebody else. I mean, Sean is known for doing videos of shows. That's what he does. He goes I mean, I feel like the man is never home. Like, I really like he's always
no, he's probably not.
Exactly. He's always somewhere else. I'm like, who's taking care of his plants? I need a person like that to take care of my plants so I could travel more.
Yeah.
But yeah, like everybody just has a different approach. So I feel like it's still a very collaborative community. I've never felt like there's competition and people like, oh, well, I don't want to engage with her because he's my competition. That's the nice thing about this hobby in general. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some like nasty people in the plant
everywhere
community.
In any community.
Like, there's some crazy people in the plant community. I mean, you just look at the comments on anybody's and whatever. But in general, the creators, the content creators and everybody, like everybody's really nice. Everybody gets along. I mean, there's always going to be the ones you click more with because you just have similar tastes and stuff. Yes. But I don't feel any level of hate amongst creators in the community.
Yeah, from what I've seen, and I've been fortunate to meet, quite a few, but very collaborative. Like, always want to do stuff with each other. Like, I'm always seeing like reels with a bunch of like our most famous faces in it. Like, they're doing stuff together. Like, when I see them at PlantCon or at IAS, like seeing them together, it's just like seeing a bunch of kids, like middle schoolers, like playing at recess together. Like, they are having so much fucking fun. Like, they're so nice. Like, it is really, really awesome. And that's something that I feel like with the plant community, definitely like sets us up or steps us away a little bit from other communities, is because these people are so like, they're so down to earth. And I'm not saying like all influencers are not, like, yes, some aren't, some are, but like I feel like a big portion of our planty influencers, they're very down to earth. Like, they are they built this just the same as you have, like from little to nothing, like whether they are bouncing off of many different like social medias and whatever, or really built it the way that you built it, which is, I think, is very, very cool that you started from absolutely nothing and you were able to keep on going and bringing yourself to where you are now. Super, super awesome. You're in your community that you've built on YouTube specifically is very engaging, which is super, super awesome. Like, you have, I think on the video you posted just 4 days ago, it was like 2.5K, or yeah, 2.5K views with like almost 300 comments. Like, hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. Like, I love that. That's great. That is super awesome.
I will say, for anybody who may have just started being a content creator, especially on YouTube, or is thinking about it, engagement is a two-way street. And I just want to say this because I think part of the reason that I've built such a loyal following on YouTube is because, unlike some people who say, like, well, don't read your comments because there's always going to be a negative comment, and just ignore the comments because you don't want to get emotionally upset or whatever. If you ignore your comments just to avoid the negative ones, you're avoiding all your positive ones. Yeah, and all the people you could be helping. And I have gotten to the point now where, I mean, I'm just one person, right? So I can't feasibly answer every single question. I did for the first 2 years. I never let a single question go unanswered.
Oh my God, good for you. Who does that?
But now, like, it's too much. I can't do it anymore. So I still try to go on within, like, obviously the first day I air a video, I try to check my messages or comments regularly. And I answer as much as I can to people, even if it's just to say thank you, because you would be amazed at somebody who liked your video and said, thank you, this was so helpful, and maybe they didn't subscribe. You say, I'm so glad you liked it. That can make the difference between a loyal, continuing subscriber that continues to watch every single video you do and not. And people even know, they'll still comment on my old videos and they'll be like, I know this is an old video, but I know you'll answer. And they're right. I will. I'll see it.
So
and
awesome.
Here's what's going on. And they also know if I don't answer within a week on an old video, my video that launches that week, they will put a comment and say, hey, I left you a note on this video. Can you go answer it? Like, seriously, this happens all the time. And this is how you build trust with people.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And you keep them coming back.
Yeah, I think another point to it that a lot of our influencers, kind of goes back to the point where you're saying, like, my best video, like, this is the best video, but their best video, everyone has their own opinion. People love people because of their authenticity. And so that's another reason, like, you're maybe, copying someone else's style. Like, that isn't you. Like, we can feel that. And, like, you being there and, like, them knowing that they can comment on 4 videos ago and comment on the new one, be like, hey, like, I got a question over here. Like, they know that you'll be there and help. Like, that is you being authentic to yourself. Like, you want to be there. You want to be able to help. Like, you're not going to just ignore all of these comments. Right. So I really, 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 really love that. So we're going to go ahead and get ready for wrap up. And so I have some questions. I did see your latest video was, what was it? Plants I'm loving right now, right?
Yeah, it's quarterly videos on my because some people do their favorite plants for each month.
Yes.
It gets too repetitive. Like, I'm like, you would be seeing the same plants over and over again. So I do it each season. So. Okay,
well, let's talk about a couple of those and, like, some of what they are. Are they a philodendron? Are they a monstera? Whatever. And then some of your best care advice for that specific type of plant.
Whew, okay, so I mean, I did 2 videos that kind of both go towards this. So I did my spring favorites video, but then I also recently, right before that, I think I did a video because everybody's always asking you to pick your favorite plant, and can you pick a favorite plant?
Hard, but you know which one you hate.
Oh, that's real easy. Yeah, like so I ended up doing a video where I was like, well, if I could only pick one from each genus, which one would I pick out of my collection.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's like, no lie, like everybody knows, people hate on Calathea all the time. I am not a Calathea hater. I'm a Calathea lover. I have more
I saw
Hoya.
that huge one in your video.
Yes, I have more Hoya right now than anything else, but that is followed in a close second by Calathea. They've always done fine for me. I have never had a problem with Calathea. I feel like they're a very misunderstood plant, and I think a lot of people don't realize that they go through weird phases and they're not dying. So here's my tip. So we'll go with, like, for example, my Calathea orbifolia was the plant that was in the thumbnail of that video. It is huge, but this thing does the same thing to me twice a year, every year. It will start to kill off its current leaves. They will get brown and crispy on the edge, even though they have not been brown and crispy for months. And they will just crisp up, and they will slowly, the crispiness will rise all the way up that leaf until the whole leaf dies off, and it will kill off every leaf it has, but simultaneously it will push out an equal number of new leaves. And it does this twice a year, every year. This is something that some Calathea do. They don't all do it, but I've noticed
there really might be something to that. There really might be something to that, because that is the biggest thing that people complain about. They're like, it just got all crispy and then all of its leaves died. So if we were to just go ahead and set it aside, let it do its thing, we might see some more growth come from that. Okay.
I'm telling you, like, Calatheas, they're rhizome based. And I tell you, I think so many people throw away a perfectly healthy live Calathea just because the leaves died. And I'm like, if you took it out of its pot, I could pretty much guarantee you the roots look perfectly fine and healthy.
Yep, they've always looked great.
And if you would let it be, because it's rhizome based, it would start to push up more leaves. Like, it's my number one thing with Calathea is, like, just don't assume it's dead. Okay. You're going to be shocked. It will probably start to grow again. They just do this sometimes.
It's funny because, I love Calatheas. My favorite is the pink variegated marked Maranta. I'm not saying that right. Maybe I am. Yeah,
no, you're right.
Those are my favorite. I gave my friend Dolores a rattlesnake, I believe they call it. Which one? I'm not super educated on the Calathea names, but I said, a lot of people struggle with this, but it's been fine for me. Like, I kept it in ambient, like, I'm not doing anything different. It's in a self-watering pot. I think this might be a good one because she just wanted a cute little plant, and I was like, this should be fine. And I didn't love it, so I was like, okay, here you go. But a lot of people struggle with it, so just let me know. And it's been perfect. She's had it for like a year and a half. Been perfect the whole time. She had like crispy edges like one time, and I thought it was more like it was by her heater or something, and so it was getting like burnt, not like crispy, but like it was actually getting burnt or something. I was like, we gotta move this. But other than that, it's been perfect. I've had several, only the Marantas, and they've all done really well. But it is just nonstop. People complain about them, and they're just like, fuck them. And there's so many memes about Calatheas.
I know.
It's hilarious. Do you have one more? Or no, actually, let's go into, what is your favorite plant and what plant do you hate?
Well, like I said, I can't really pick a favorite. If I had to pick a favorite Calathea, I could pick a favorite Calathea for you.
Okay, let's pick out your favorite pothos. So pothos is a very good, easy. Sorry, maybe it's not easy.
No, it is easy. It's just that's a hard one for me to pick too. I mean, so the one I picked in my recent video that I said if I had to just keep one was my Marble Queen.
I was just gonna say my Marble Queen is by far. It is my favorite pothos, like specific pothos, Marble Queen, yes. Otherwise, maybe a lemon meringue. I like those too.
Or the Manjula. The Manjula is
Oh, you know what? I really do like the Manjulas.
But it's hard to pick.
I'm just going to stick with the Marble Queen because that one is most commonly found. So if anyone is interested in a beautiful, pothos that isn't very hard to take care of, they look expensive. They feel kind of expensive. Like, they are gorgeous plants. Go with one of those. And what is your hate?
Oh my goodness. I have no, I don't know if I can say that one. I'm kind of
She's like, they're gonna get mad at me.
Well, you might, because you're giving one away. I am not a fan of the Pink Princess.
And is it because of this right here?
Yep.
We call this a Cinderella slipper, you guys.
Yep.
So by the time this gets sent out, I am going to make sure that it is out of this. And so Pink Princesses are very well known for doing this exactly. So sometimes they'll get stuck. A good, like what I will almost always do is get a nice warm rag and just hold it over it. And, you know, I do that a couple times a week. And if it's like really stuck, and it will eventually pop out. Do not pick it. If you pick it, it will break. I promise it will break. And then you'll be sad. And then you'll have to wait a lot longer to get a new leaf. But no, I get it. A lot of people hate Pink Princesses, or just the White Princess also does it, but not as much. The Pink Princesses are really well known for it, so I'm sorry, guys, but I'll make sure that out.
It's got princess in the name. What do we expect?
It is, yes. It is princess. You gotta treat it like a princess. It deserves to be, you know, get those little sponge baths with the warm towels once in a while. She needs a facial, guys.
Yeah, and I will say, too, I think people forget that in the wild, they get rained on in the and it helps leaves unfurl. So also, when you're watering them, it helps if you put it under like a sprayer and get the leaves wet too.
Yes. Yeah. So good tip on that. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's been really awesome to have you here. And like I say with a lot of my guests, I hope to have you back again in a year so we can kind of just talk about what has happened in the last year since you were on the podcast. I see a lot of growth coming your way. And it's just genuinely been really awesome chatting with you. I'm super excited to see you at more work events, wherever Raj may send us.
It's always a big guess where we're going next.
Yes, but I love it, and I'm super excited to, you know, have you here and have you more part of my team at, you know, Palm Street. And it's been amazing. So, yeah, thank you very much. You're more than welcome to stick around and backstage. I don't think Mike's around. I think he's just hanging out. Otherwise, you're good to go. But, you know, huge thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a fantastic night, okay?
You too.
All right, bye-bye. All right, you guys. So that was amazing. Some great conversation with Adria. I'm just so happy to have had her come on, and we get to make a great connection, a new connection as well. Like as I had stated before, normally I've already built a really long, beautiful relationship with a lot of the people that I bring on, and she's been new, but absolutely amazing. Please go find her on YouTube. She drops new content a few times a week, I think. Her is Aloha Plant Life on YouTube, on Instagram, Palm Street, just about anywhere you can find her. So it was really amazing. And back to our giveaway here. So we know she doesn't like Pink Princesses, but we do over here. So this is going to be our next giveaway, you guys. And again, we will be doing a raffle on my Instagram next Wednesday to see who the winner is. So everyone watching that replay, please like, comment, subscribe, and share to your story so we can get you in for this giveaway, and then it will ship the following week. I'm so excited. Thank you, guys. You have a good night. Mwah.
Still, step into the space where the roots run deep, where the sun meets the soil and the stories speak. Every leaf, every bloom got a tale to tell, from the lows in the dirt to the highs that swell. This is Grow House, yeah, we flourish and thrive, planting seeds of change, keeping dreams alive. It's more than just green, it's the life we create, breaking through the cracks, let's elevate. Grow strong, grow tall, grow now, grow all, grow strong, grow